Action!
Welcome back to Coming This Summer. No, I was going to let you keep going. We just...
give you backing music.
Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you.
So it's over.
Okay. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I was
had
hoping
very
it
low-
would good, but hoping it would be good, but I did not think it would be good.
Yeah. That's pretty much where I was at. I had very low expectations.
The trailer made me feel very hopeful.
Yeah.
But man, some of the backstage stuff you hear about, and the budget, and the delays, and the injuries, and the director not being able to stop talking. It's a James thing, I think, maybe. James Mangold.
Oh.
He also likes to continually talk about the movie, and it's good to have publicity. But he started
the Jameses.
He started trashing sequels and over the top Hollywood stuff, and it's like, you have a $300 million fifth movie in a series.
Also
What are you
did,
talking
the
about?
Fifth Wolverine.
Yeah. Also,
movie. Yeah.
It was Wolverine 3, X-Men 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So the
smell your
director
farts.
James Mangold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Director of Logan.
Mangold.
This guy, I told you this in the car, but I'm going to repeat it because this dude needs to handle the retirement of every single pop culture character that needs to be.
So you're
this
saying
dude should have done
Iron Man 3,
Matrix 4, Iron Man 3, fucking Logan. Yeah, perfect. Endgame, Indy.
Yeah.
Perfect. He should have done one of the Star Wars movies because Force Awakens would have been awesome as like a one-off to retire the characters you like.
He figured out what they couldn't do in 4, which I think didn't Spielberg still direct 4? I thought they brought Spielberg back for 4.
I'm not sure, but that sounds right. Yeah.
They did something. They went back to it had the heart of the original 3 somehow. It was. You felt like you were watching a movie in 1988.
It had elements of each one.
Right.
They
do a little Crystal Scully in there in the beginning.
They do a big action set piece after action set piece.
There's
some Temple of Doom shit locked in there when they're solving the Legend of Zelda puzzles at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And uncovering tombs and
what's
dropping
funny
because
they before we get super into it because we're talking about highlights. I'll say that it's like they heard everybody bitch about the Crystal Skull and they said, okay, they didn't like the refrigerator thing.
Imagine if this came out then, and this was took Crystal Skull's place, essentially.
Right. People would have lost their shit.
They would have made 3 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one would be more anticipated
turned
than people
into
would have lost their
another
mind.
trilogy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with you on that.
Yeah. I say that about Star Wars all the time. If prequels if it was released how it was actually supposed to be released, would it have done as well?
No.
Probably not.
No one wants to watch a 2.5-hour political Senate meeting with a couple lightsaber
not
battles
in the
at
80s.
the end. No. So this one starts off very classic indie. The atmosphere is super indie. The music, they hit you with the title card in Indiana Jones 5. Music's already playing.
Oh, really?
And it's already, it's like a very low.
See, I missed the title card.
You were walking in, as it was rolling in.
Hits at the end of the opening set piece when they're walking under the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it all crashes.
I know you were probably waiting for it.
I was title card. Oh.
Yeah, no, they were
they must have already done it.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Mother
Destiny. Yeah. Also, I like how it's not called the Dial of Destiny.
No,
it's just the name of the movie.
Right.
Temple of Doom.
Archimedes Dial,
the anti-chimera or
right.
whatever the fuck, Antikythera or whatever
the
fuck they said.
We'll just say
some
the
Roman,
Dial.
Whatever, the Dial.
So that was the McGuffin. Well, the movie starts with a different McGuffin. It's supposed to be the lance that was the final blow in Jesus, the blood and everything.
Yeah.
And they're obsessed with this lance because supposedly it has magic power. It's almost like the first one with the
Yeah, it's like you're catching the end of an Indiana Jones movie.
This is why I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
They start the movie like you're watching an Indiana Jones 4, not Crystal Skull.
I was gonna make a joke when they're walking off, and I'm and roll credits. I'm let's get to the studio, Bean. We got this review to kick out.
Yeah, because that scene, they go through this
20
whole
minutes.
Nazi. It's like a 20-minute thing where he's trapped. He breaks out. Got the friend he's got to save.
The bumbling friend.
Right.
Yep.
The whole train scene, a fight on top of the train, fight through the train.
The train scene was awesome. Also, I want to talk about one thing in the movie. The main bad guy, Mads Mikkelsen.
Amazing.
Schmidt,
he kills every role he does.
Dr. Schmidt, let's
every
call
role
him.
he does. Right. But I mean,
okay.
it's just he's just I can do this.
On the train scene, he gets his ass handed to him going full speed on a train. He gets hit by a signpost because he's hanging off the side. Didn't get a scar.
I thought they were
gonna
do some kind of
or no. He flash forward after that. A couple years have passed, and we see him, and he looks completely fine.
He's just more crazy.
Right, but
he probably would have gotten crazy just
there
because
has to be a scar or something because
you're right.
He was going full speed,
I won't lie,
off a train and got hit by basically a tree branch.
When it happens, you're right. When that scene happens, it's literally
he's dead.
The end of the train scene part, almost.
Yeah,
it hits him, and I'm thinking, oh, when you see him again, he's gonna be a white eye
or
with a
scar.
huge scar,
right?
And he's gonna be Indy.
Yeah.
But now he's like, I barely remember you.
Who are you?
Yeah. Oh, so he got amnesia. I guess.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Well, it just made him insane, but
there was
already
very
kind of
few.
crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I think it helped drive him more crazy.
It didn't affect the movie. It was just
you're nitpicking, which is a good thing when you say how good the movie is.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Is that
no? But I mean,
dude,
you know what I'm
mangled.
saying.
Should have a scar. Should have something on him. You know.
Maybe it's just something that to make you think that maybe
give him an eye patch.
Yeah, no,
it would make him look more evil with a scar over his eye or some shit. But maybe that's trying to be more subtle.
Will we see it? Maybe it got his shoulder.
It
I know, but I'm just maybe it's supposed to be
sure.
It doesn't take out his face.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter what happens to him at the end of the movie anyway.
So you get this whole 20-25 minute opening. The train scene ends with the bridge getting blown up. They've got to jump off the train. You're right. They get out of the water. They've got the thing. They didn't get the thing they wanted, which ended up being fake, the lance.
But they got the other McGuffin.
But they got the dial just because. They're like, yeah, we'll take it. And you're right. They're slogging through, telling jokes with their arms around each other. You're waiting for the credits to roll. You got a 20-minute Indy 3. So I'm fine with the movie being 2.5 hours because we got a mini Indy 4.
If you have
a real Indy 4
about going to see the movie, I'd go see it just for that opening scene. It only gets better too.
It does. It's true.
Yeah, the opening scene when we see Harrison Ford and he's shirtless in his underwear.
80-year-old Harrison Ford, yeah,
old as hell, yelling at youngsters to turn their music down. Yeah, wowee. As Harrison Ford wants to be here, genuinely.
That was the only slow point of the entire movie was to give you he's miserable now,
and it was right after
right. You got 20 minutes of adrenaline.
So now we gotta set up this
but
movie.
It goes quick.
It goes quick
because you get the real quick. Mutt from Crystal Skull joined the military in between 4 and this one and got killed at the end of the war.
Yeah, so that's to retcon.
Or no, he got killed at Vietnam because they're protesting Vietnam because it's the 60s. I think that's the war he's supposed to be in.
Okay.
So he's he went to join Vietnam, so he gets killed in Vietnam. So he can't handle the grief, so he's really mean to his wife, who he got back together with in Crystal Skull,
who's Marion from the first movie,
the first and the fourth one,
right? Yeah.
So their marriage is over now because he can't come to terms with the fact that his kid's dead, which is how they wrote out Shia LaBeouf off screen. He died in the Vietnam War.
Instead of casting Shia LaBeouf in the movie, he just dies.
They could have just did a cameo, or it would have been so easy to be "Hey, Dad," or a letter from his son because he's doing something. Did they have to kill him?
I think because they already played the him and Marion splitting up card.
Right, there had to be another reason.
So they had to give him another reason.
Well, on top of that, people act like fans' biggest bitch about the movie was Shia LaBeouf, and I don't think that was the biggest problem.
Shia LaBeouf was he's
good.
Fine. He's fine. He's Shia LaBeouf. You're casting him to be Shia LaBeouf in your movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right.
You don't got to ask much from that dude. You know what I mean? He'll deliver on what you want. Transformers, he's fine in Transformers.
He's fine.
He should have been in all the Transformers. Yeah,
he's a non-douchey character of a Jesse Eisenberg, but a goofy instead of a douchey.
Okay,
he's bumbling. He's kind of weird and he's introvert, but he's also
flailing all over the place. Yeah.
So,
but somehow makes it through every situation that he's in. So he dies. Motherfucker was swinging with monkeys on vines.
I know, he survived all of that
to
go.
Tarzan. Fought aliens and Nazis and time traveling super Germans and and he dies in the war. No.
So it goes from he's teaching a class. You're right. He goes from a grumpy old man. He doesn't even realize it's the day we land on the moon.
Yeah, it's 1969.
It's the end of so it's
of
Moon
70s.
Day.
Moon Day.
And they're landing on the moon. Everybody's losing their mind.
I thought they said moving day, and I'm not kidding you. I'm like, oh no, is he getting fired from like the university?
No,
but
well, he kind of was. They're like forcing him out. Like,
yeah.
surprise!
I heard moving day. I need subtitles in my movies, guys.
Well,
I'm sorry.
The one thing that didn't make sense is they made it sound like they were landing on the moon, but then they had the parade of them back. So I guess it's Moon Day because they're back. But they
like account of
because they landed
events.
on the moon.
But then it was filmed though, right? Like the moon landing.
Oh, they showed it like broadcasting
like on
TV. So I guess they're back. So yeah, that's what it is. They're back. Everybody, it's a holiday, except Harrison Ford's the only professor that didn't let his kids out. Like that's the joke because he's a grumpy old man. They're showing all this. All the kids are on the street. They're setting up a parade. Everybody's playing and squirting each other with squirt guns.
A whole new movie. I was
you pay no attention.
Annihilated for the first bit of this movie.
So then, his best friend's daughter is there supposedly because it was, she just misses dad and she just wants this piece because that's what dad wanted. And, it turns into she's actually, Falcon and Winter Soldier style twist. She's actually like, she's the one that's selling all the pieces. She's the bad. Yeah. She's the bad guy. They're trying to make you think
into that a little bit more that she like actually was the bad.
For like an hour and 15 minutes, they made her almost so unbearable that it almost made the movie bad. Like I know what they were going for, but like lay off the throttle. Yeah. I got it.
You better put some respect on Harrison Ford now.
Right, and they did. They shifted it. Right, when Short Round starts, like the replacement for Short Round, because that's what he is. Luffy. starts dissing on, and then she's like, "Hey now."
What the fuck is his name?
I totally forgot his name because you said the One Piece reference, and now that's all I see is him. Netflix like making a terrible mistake.
Toby or Robbie.
Kid sidekick.
Kid sidekick and girl.
So yeah, I mean they played the indie Short Round template with her and his.
It's like not his like. Short Round. It's hers.
That's what I'm saying. They played it with her though.
Right. Yeah. So he was great.
There was a lot, and it's funny because there was so much when they introduce him at the private auction. Mm-hmm. So that's what happened. So we get she finds Indy teaching. She's like, I need the piece. All of a sudden, Mad shows up with the crew, and they're like, "We're here to take it," and they annihilate people. Unlike Indiana Jones, they're just like headshot, heart shot, you're dead. We need the piece. Except for Indiana, we're going to negotiate with you every time, even though you blow the boat up, you run us over. I know, but it's like they feel bad. Like every time, it's like, dude, they left you stranded in the ocean on a blown up boat.
So there's like 3 bad guys. There's Mads Mikkelsen, Narcos guy, and big dude. Right,
that's the team,
big guy.
The squad.
That's our villains.
Yeah,
is Narcos guy, Mads Mikkelsen, and big guy.
And generic big guy.
So like, they don't shoot him after he like throat chops Narcos dude with like the ladder.
Right, and that's how it starts.
Yeah, and they don't shoot him.
They don't shoot him.
Like 5 dudes with guns on.
There's a scene later where they blow dynamite up on the boat and then leave them stranded. They don't shoot him.
Well, he does.
Well, shoots at them.
Stops.
Right. Then he stopped. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just really weird. They get him in a cave. Don't shoot him. Surround him behind. Don't shoot him. You know what I mean? And I get it because it's a crazy 80s style adventure movie until they do shoot him. Just like every other Indiana Jones movie. So you get.
So the movie is like go.
It's like nonstop
from there. The second like she takes off with the dial and they're chasing him through the city.
It's classic Indiana Jones, The Mummy, National Treasure. They're constantly doing all the hard stuff while the bad guys go, well, thank you for. There's literally that one line. Mads is like, thank you for doing the work. I'm like, they do that in every movie, every adventure movie.
Transformers: Rise of the Beast
did the same thing. It's such a tropey thing, but they handled it so good.
But it's a good trope. It's a
great
trope.
But they did it like 3 times in this movie. The water one, the cave one. Like they just kept doing it.
They just roll up on a boat
every time
at one point, and they're just like murder dudes and cut off their oxygen and go yoink.
Except for Indy and her.
Yeah, they just
they pull it up. They pulled up Puss in Boots is in this movie, by the way. And it's amazing. And okay, obviously it's Antonio Banderas, but I swear to God, because he's like romancing Indy's goddaughter, he's doing Puss in Boots. He's like kissing her
Puss
hand.
in Boots voice.
And he does like
this movie.
Over the top.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio.
It's like a Puss in Boots.
He does. He goes over the top.
Indiana Jones. He's like, thank you, Indy. Like he's doing.
This is crazy. did you see this? It's just like, he's so, and I know why he's doing it, but it's so funny and over the top.
Past,
it's amazing.
The greatest scene when he does get, like, they get the kid, like that whole auction scene.
Oh, I wanted to say this.
Yeah.
We were there. So that whole scene from the him teaching and the shootout, they take off.
And
They escape.
Tangier. Yeah.
They
in
don't
Morocco,
get shot.
in
They get
Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah.
They give you the hardest Indiana 1 foreshadowing, punch you in the face on the nose foreshadowing when they introduce the new short round. He is being taught
I see what you're
how to
saying.
fly an airplane by a bunch of drunk pilots that are just at a bar watching the auction, and they're telling him how he would fly the plane and what buttons to press. I'm like, holy shit, they're going to do this exact scene again, another hour and a half. And they did not disappoint me in the slightest when he gets in the plane and says the exact words he said sitting at the table when the pilots were telling him what to do. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
It didn't make up for the fact that Short Round is not in this movie.
No, he's not.
The actor who plays him.
That's my biggest
He was
bitch.
in Everything Everywhere all
Yeah,
at
he's
once.
back. He's like,
He's back. He's in
yeah.
everything. So it's like maybe he just wasn't at
Everywhere
the
all at
point
once.
of
Yeah.
filming this. Nice. And that's it. That's the end of the review. No, so after the auction, we get like maybe the greatest car chase in any movie.
Holy shit! In the last 10 years,
ever. I
it's
think.
amazing.
Yeah, it's like on the level of like Mission Impossible.
No, it is. You're right. You said
Jason
it.
Bourne.
Born Identity.
Yeah.
And they're in little 3-wheeled motorcycle carts.
Yeah, and the tuk-tuks. Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's genuinely it's
Oh my
so
God.
good. You can do well because like they don't actually have to do the car chase because a lot of it's like visual effects, you know, of them like switching carts when like one thing blows up.
Yeah.
Oh, they're close. It's like
Yeah.
it's just animation,
Oh,
but it's like disguised because it's like moving so fast.
Yeah,
so it's
it
like,
looks good.
This looks pretty good, even though it's not actually happening. I'm
Oh,
like,
so
you can disguise a lot with computer graphics now.
Yeah, my biggest
Like,
biggest
That you
negative.
couldn't do with like
Oh,
the
even-
Bourne Identity.
even 10 years
movies.
ago.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
and some of the Mission Impossibles. Yeah.
No, my biggest gripe in the movie was the inconsistent CGI. And I say
Yeah.
that because and don't get me wrong, it doesn't ever get like Flash level bad or anything like that.
No.
But
No. This movie does a lot of things better than Flash.
Oh, God,
but we'll
yeah.
get there.
because there are scenes where they're putting a face of Harrison Ford on a body like they did for Flash with a double, and they did the exact thing. Honestly, they
and de-aged
They
him.
did it better.
And de-aged him.
Yeah.
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 I mean, Ezra Miller is de-aged a little,
A little, but not really.
but not a lot because
Yeah.
he's like 30.
Which there's two
so
de-aging parts
they're-
in this movie. There's the beginning where they like take him back to like 35, and then there's later in the movie where it's supposed to be like 20 years earlier, where he's like in his 50s
It's
because the
like-
daughter's like a
It's
teenager.
like I'm thinking that's like Crystal Skull, like maybe right
Era.
before Crystal Skull,
Right.
because he looks pretty similar to how he,
He
looks
does,
in Crystal
but
Skull.
you can't.
Yeah.
You can almost not see it. It's so good. Like just a little when he moves too fast, but like it's almost like if you're not paying attention, you'll see it. The beginning, you can. There's a couple parts where you're like,
There's a couple parts. The top of the train fight looks really good compared to like the
yeah,
rest
the
of the
dark
shit.
parts are
The
good.
'cause
When
it's
he's
at night.
driving and it's dark and the
Yeah.
helmet on,
Yeah.
he looks like young Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
But when he takes the thing off and turns around, it's like jitter. Like why is someone that's learning and someone that you do it? The fact that it's
They
like they
sunk a shit
skipped
ton of money
they
into this
skipped
movie.
frames. It looks like something
Okay.
doesn't look right on some of the moves. Like, do we need his neck to go perfectly smooth, or can we skip?
Yes, you do.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
It's like they're doing
yeah.
22 of the 24 frames. This is what
Okay. Huh.
I don't know another way to describe it.
Huh.
It's just slightly
It's
janky in a couple parts.
Okay. Yeah.
And I know I sound like I'm being a dick, but for a $295 million movie,
That's we're also accounting for a budget. It's fine.
it looks great.
It doesn't take you out of the
I'm
enjoyment of the
nitpicking because how
movie.
great the movie is.
But if it costs that much, it should have looked better than
especially
it did.
since it
I get
starts
that.
looking better and better, when you would think the beginning would have been worked on the most.
Yeah, but like the special effects definitely ramp up in the
Oh,
movie.
they do, and they look
like,
good. The movie
yeah.
looks, again, don't let me make you think the movie looks bad, because
Yeah.
it doesn't. But I don't know how internet people can make the de-aging stuff look better than
Yeah,
movie
you got
studio
YouTubers
stuff.
fucking
I know,
making that shit look
it's
better than this.
crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. So for sinking almost $500 million, it should look a little
Just-
bit.
that's all I'm
maybe
saying.
a little bit better. Yeah,
That's
so
all.
set piece after set piece.
Yeah,
after set
everything else
piece.
visually was amazing
Yeah,
and beautiful.
follows us to they have the dial. Right, we're
Mhm.
just gonna fully skip. They get McGuffin after McGuffin.
That's pretty much what happens. It's like the two pieces, like Transformers.
It's
we gotta
National
get,
Treasure.
we gotta get the first piece. Well, now we gotta
Transformers.
get the second piece. But to get the second piece, first we gotta get the map to the second piece. So there's 3 MacGuffins in total. Yeah, it was literally Transformers.
Yeah,
but way better.
yeah. And the map takes us to the tomb of Archimedes, who turns out
Who they find?
spoilers,
is wearing
a wristwatch.
Wearing a pretty recent watch.
Like a Rolex.
Right. And they're
got
like, well,
a
that's
Gucci
not
Rolex
good.
on. Yeah.
And then, so they...
Archimedes with the drip.
And, of course, they lead the bad guys right to them. Thank you for doing all the work for us. We'll take that again. Yeah. For the 5th time. Which leads them to, again, this time they shoot Indy.
Yeah, they straight up
finally
shoot him
were like, shut up.
Harrison Ford didn't want to stand up for the rest of the movie, so they took him out and had him sit down on a bench for the next hour and a half. For the next like 45 minutes, Harrison Ford is either sitting down,
or being carried,
leaning,
or
being carried, or the parachute. You know, and then he's like still like,
he's like on the ground.
On the ground. So and he's standing up in the kitchen, which they probably filmed first.
Get all my standing scenes done first.
I want to be sitting for 2 weeks.
The end is weird. So they actually never say another bad thing about the Crystal Skull jump the shark with aliens.
You thought they jumped the shark with aliens. No, my friend. Spoilers. The Dial of Destiny can cause people to find fissures in time, quote.
This is what they're telling you the whole movie.
This is what they're telling you, that it can find fissures in time, like a meteorologist for time.
But it turns out...
And the whole thing is, like, we just conquered space, and now it's time to conquer time.
Yeah, because he used math. Because he's a super doctor mathematician.
Because they keep saying, because math, it's in the numbers.
It's in the numbers.
Math.
And the numbers
Even
don't
though
lie.
He gets the numbers wrong when he goes to fucking time travel.
Right.
Which...
Well, he doesn't, because he thinks what the whole thing is supposed to be like the bootstrap paradox. Archimedes designed it because he wanted help
with the war.
With the
siege of
and figured
Syracuse.
At some point a bunch of people would come back.
Figure it out. Right.
Yeah, and
Weird.
instead he got two airplanes.
Yeah,
and
dragons.
Like 7 people.
Yeah, so hold on. Let's recap. Let's start over because so they have the dial, they're going on the planes, they need to fly straight up through a thunderstorm. To get this sky badge.
Which to say, it turns he's supposed to find fissures in time, but it finds with a 1. It's designed to just take you to the one spot, which is the twist.
And our main bad guy is like, I'm gonna go back to like
1939,
World War II,
kill Hitler,
take
over because I know how to win. Hitler
did everything wrong,
right?
Yeah, and I watch so I can perfect it,
right?
So he's basically the Fourth Reich. Basically what he's trying to do.
Hitler lit a fire that could have lasted 1,000 years, but he didn't know.
But he didn't know what to do.
He couldn't do it.
Right, because he wasn't a time traveler. So lo and behold, right.
Because he didn't get multiple chances to do it.
Weird, yeah. It's not a video game.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, the portal doesn't take you anywhere you want. It just takes you to one point in time.
To Archimedes.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up?
You got my thing.
New phone, who dis? Yeah. I see you got my call. Took you 2,000 years to return my call.
So then... Which there's this whole plane scene, and they're like getting blown up, Game of Thrones style, by
very Game of Thrones.
These catapults and these trebuchets, right? And
harpoons,
and the harpoons and all this stuff. And they're panicking because the plane's taking damage. They can't get altitude. They got to get back out of here. This is the wrong time. And oh, by the way,
short round.
By the way, this is pod racing is happening directly behind the plane because they had the foreshadow scene where he jumps on the plane. He does it, takes off. Just so happens the pilot of the plane was taking a nap in the back of the plane.
Now this is pod racing.
That's instantly what I thought.
Holy fuck.
He jumps in with the thing he doesn't. He's like starts smashing. But you know how to fly that? Yeah. I'll blow that fucking starship right up. Don't even worry about it.
Just like shooting womp rats back home.
So his plane somehow, even though he's like right behind.
Yeah.
Right behind the other plane that's getting destroyed. Never gets hit once. Lands the plane fine.
They don't hurt kid dragons.
Well, he's wearing plot armor.
The smaller plane
he's wearing plot
was
armor.
A baby dragon.
Right, okay.
And they don't murder
They
babies.
wanted to catch it.
Yeah.
Right.
Raise it as their own.
So he brings in the SS plot armor as it lands, right? The USS plot armor, whatever that would be, right? It would be, right? I mean, I'm just saying, because that ship just...
Yeah, the Deus SS Ex Machina.
And Indy still hasn't died. Keep in mind... It is probably, even screen time now, it's been 40 minutes since he's been shot. Movie time, it's been probably an hour plus.
If an 80-year-old gets punched in the shoulder, they're down.
Here's your heart. He's shot here. Because they wanted you to make you think he got shot in the heart. Yeah. Indy even makes the joke, like, I've been shot like 9 times, I'll be fine.
Not only that, he cuts his things off with the gunshot wound. Moving, you can't gestate your arm like
grabs
that.
His goddaughter.
When your shoulder, you can't rub your arms back and forth like that. I'm sore from doing that.
Indiana Jones.
No, he's 80 years old. So,
but he's Indiana Jones.
No, but no.
What you don't know is he's a Skrull because this is all in the same universe.
No, they do time travel in this. It's bullshit. This movie sucks. No,
the TVA was in the background.
Yeah,
they were coming to prune Indy. He's like, I'm gonna stay, and she's like, you can't stay. No, it's a TVA. All right, I'm sorry. Anyway, so the other plane crashes. Mads and his whole crew die.
Yeah.
They just crash into the side of a thing and that's it, right?
Like there was no point in them being in this. They just like chase Indy the whole time.
He got what he wanted. He time traveled.
True.
It was wrong.
True.
He got to play God like he said, and then that's what happens when you play God and you die.
Right. Yeah.
And they finally killed the douchebag Narcos guy who was killing everybody in the movie except Indy.
That was the greatest. That was the best. How it's just like they're flying in a plane. Dude doesn't know what year he's in, where he's at. He's just like, you fire at me, I fucking like, bro, you don't know what time period you're in. Maybe you just killed. What if you killed like Socrates or some shit? You don't know.
So yeah, exactly.
And
so
unloading.
While they're loading, they get killed. They crash. Some guy sees Indy and the goddaughter land.
Parachuting.
And what's her name? Why do I keep?
Wombat.
Wombat.
He calls her Wombat. I don't know her girl.
Keep forgetting.
So girl in short round.
Yeah, we sound like assholes. So Wombat and Indy land, and they're about to die because somebody saw them. And as they go to kill him, Archimedes saves them. Wow. Which is whatever.
Sure.
And Indy's like, leave me here, I'm going to stay. And she's like, you can't stay.
Yeah, so Indy wants to, like, stay in ancient Rome.
Because he's, like, tripping out. And we all would trip out. They're watching a literal Roman-Greek battle from 2,000 years ago. And it's like, are you seeing this? It is pretty cool. And he's like, I just want to watch this.
He, like, looks up, and it's, like, the Parthenon or whatever.
Yeah, like, everything's intact. It's, like, brand new. Everything's beautiful. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'd be like, we got to hang.
At least for a minute, right?
For, like, one toga party.
He designs it. It'll open up again, right?
A couple drinks with Dionysus, and we're gonna and a couple peanuts, a handful of cashews, and we're gonna bounce.
The best part is he's like, I'm gonna stay. She's like, no. And Archimedes is like, yeah,
he
should stay.
Come hang, dog.
Come stay.
Yeah. Archimedes is like, I'd chill with Indiana Jones, and Indy's like, I want to hang with Archimedes.
So she does the classic Indy punch.
He's retired.
So
why don't you let him stay? He knows the events of history, so he knows what.
He's gonna look super smart.
Up.
Well, I think she's more worried that they're not going to be able to save the bullet wound than anything.
She wants the father figure. What she's saying to Archimedes is what she wants to say to Indy. Right. Like, you're this great historian.
Your work's not quite done.
Famous. Right. You have to stay here. Yeah.
So she punches him Indiana Jones style. He wakes up in bed.
The ending we got.
Right. He wakes up in bed.
Yeah.
She's there. Well, by the way, we got hit with classic characters.
Sala. My boy.
So he comes in. Everybody's there.
Love him.
Marion's there. She's back. She's like, they all leave to take the kids to get ice cream. Everybody goes and takes off.
Yeah. And then they
like, so I hear
totally bang.
Yeah. She's like, so I hear you're back. Like, you're Indy again.
Yeah.
And he cries, they hug, and then they bang.
I'm thinking I'm back.
Which I think that... I'm thinking I'm back. Because that's how Harrison Ford sounds in the whole movie. And I think
Indiana Wick.
People, so like, yeah, they do, seriously, they start kissing. It fades to outside. We see his hat hanging, the elbow kiss.
The elbow bit, yeah.
And people are like, oh, are you going to do more? And he's doing those interviews like, no, I'm done. Because the hat scene at the end, he grabs the hat. I'm pretty sure, and I'm not being funny, I'm pretty sure.
It's a sex thing.
It's a sex thing.
It's a sex thing.
It's a sex thing.
He wears it during...
Because they start getting real huggy, kissy.
I would have made
he grabs the hat.
I would have made it the whip. Then you're like, that's some
He should have grabbed the hat and the whip.
That's some kinky shit they're
been
doing
the
right
shit.
there. Yeah.
And then it just fades to black on a funny joke, like almost Warner Brothers style, fading to black because he grabs the hat. And you know what's going on with the hat grab.
Yeah.
And so how people misconstrue that is he's going back to do Indiana Jones stuff. No, he's not.
He's smushing Marion.
He's smushing. Indiana Smush. Smushy Jones.
Smushy Jones. Smushy Jones.
And that's the movie. It was amazing. I smiled that entire... I haven't enjoyed a movie thoroughly like that all the way through.
Do the map thing. The fucking
They did the
red,
Muppets
red line
and
map.
Indiana Travel by Map.
Travel by map. Oh my God, I love that. I was like,
I heard that is the
grinning.
happiest I've ever heard you in a movie. You were like giggling and like chuckling and like I'm like, oh my God, is he enjoying this movie? These are sounds.
At the very end, you looked at me when I laughed. Marion comes in, he pulls the magnet off of her face on the fridge. Fucking A, dude.
He's great.
So subtle.
Yeah.
So subtle. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I would probably give it a 7 or an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm at 8.1.
Genuinely. I think I'm gonna do 8.
I'm at 8.1. I
think
really enjoyed the shit out of this movie.
This might be my favorite movie this year.
It's really good.
It was really good.
It's better than 4. It's better than 3, and it's better than 2. I don't think it's probably better than 1, but man, it made you feel.
One's just classic,
right, but
though.
It made you feel those feelings, man. I know you're a little younger, but. And I'm not that old because I don't even know if I was born in the first
Indiana
one.
Jones, yeah,
But
definitely.
As a kid watching those things and like playing like your temple and like this gave you that like, oh my God, this isn't India. The fourth one was fine. Crystal Skull's not a bad movie as much as people say it is.
It's good,
but it didn't completely feel.
No.
They went over the top. Let's put him in a refrigerator and launch him into the
nuke.
you know,
yeah.
let's
He's
do vines and
yeah.
swing. No, this was Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
This was like we're gonna have him in an airplane that's gonna probably crash. We're gonna have him. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a water scene and people are gonna probably be drowning.
Yeah.
They hit like everything,
every beat. That's what I'm saying.
8-1.
They do, like the Temple of Doom shit. Yeah, it's like it plays all the tropes. Yeah, except fucking we don't get short round.
I know.
Bullshit, man. Bullshit. Like every other character but short round. Man.
Yeah, go see this. I'm kind of sad now that it's not tracking great.
Yeah, that's a little weird because it was definitely a really good movie.
It's better than just the last couple weeks that's come out. It's better than The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than Elemental.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than Transformers. It's better than
Fast X.
Fast X.
Guardians. It's just.
But it's
different. Though.
It's different.
Yeah.
That's a more serious
That's
movie.
Different.
This is like just a pure popcorn romp. Turn your brain. And I know people go, that's an excuse, but no, this is like genuinely fun characters, likable bad guys in a way that, you know what I mean? Like the Narcos guy you want to hate, but Mads are like, oh, this guy's like, you know, he's a scientist, but he's also evil, but he also is like smart and wants to, you know what I mean? Like
you should really go watch Logan after this.
Yeah.
I think I know.
I've only seen bits.
It's on the same level. I want this director to continue to direct movies. That's why I'm kind of pissed he's bitching about things and sequels.
Well, if he's in the Disney camp now,
you need to specifically close character stories.
Maybe
that's
he was
your
saying
thing.
that because he's in the Disney world, no pun intended now, and they're probably already reaching for him to do Marvel or Star Wars stuff, and maybe he doesn't want to, so he's making sure he says like, oh, I know I did this. But let's just make sure.
Let's chill for a minute.
Yeah, before I'm directing
my things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Doctor Strange 3 or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
That's probably what it is. But there you go. Go see it. It was a huge recommendation from me.
Yeah.
I
was definitely. I had 0 expectations walking in. Yeah.
I was hopeful, but not expecting. But man,
not expecting this.
10 minutes in, I'm like, this is gonna be a good movie.
Yeah.
I was like,
I might
okay.
go back and see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
Since we didn't fucking. You were right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely really good. So, Ruby Gillman.
That review will be coming further this weekend.
Coming up, we got Secret Invasion.
I got to see Ruby Gillman early. He has not seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. You saw it before Indy, so I'm a little pissed I have to see it after.
Yeah, it's going to probably dampen your review a little.
Damn it.
I'll be honest with you.
Because I'm so hot on Indy right now.
Just like if you would have saw Indy and then saw Elemental, you would have not liked Elemental even more.
Yeah.
It would have been the same kind of deal.
How did Elemental feel longer than this movie?
It did.
How?
It did.
How did it feel longer?
No, it really did.
What is wrong with that
Fast
movie?
and the Furious is 10 minutes shorter in this movie, and that felt 40 minutes longer.
How?
Yeah, for a 150-minute movie, this thing never stops moving.
No. And if it does, it's to like figure out what this McGuffin does to get
so
you to the next
so that
set
we can
piece.
get it jump started again, so we can go. Yeah. Light that shit on fire. What's it say? Go. Yeah. Right. But
I always thought it would make a good horror movie.
It's theaters and streaming at the same time.
Oh.
So I'm probably, if I let any of them see it, it'll be at home. Right?
Just comb through the scenes.
Yeah.
And just like take out all the garbage. They just want to see the animatronics move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's going to be all the horror parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're murdering people. Yeah.